I guess it's time, huh?
Peace, people. My name is Kymani Mocha Jade, Kymani Jade for short, and you tune into More Lyrical. And I am here bringing to you transparent, truth-telling free conversations on mental health in the spirit of healing justice. So y'all, I've been gone for 7 months, and I know some of you are like, yo, what's good, Kim? You ain't been on the block. And you're right. I haven't been running these YouTube streets because I've been practicing. I've been practicing rest, ease, naps, breathing, and just total stillness and silence and meditation. Practicing quiet. I've been on my I've been practicing the benefits of unplugging. Yo, seriously, I just be chilling on my couch like, I'm busy. You know what I mean? If you remember, I had done a video on self-therapy. That was my last video. And I was talking about taking care of ourselves. Not just going to spas or getting our nails done, but actually taking time to sit with ourselves. And a lot of us had to do that over the pandemic. And I realized with these videos, after a while, I was just churning them out. Like, the whole idea is post 2 to 3 videos a week. And I set the goal to post every week. And even that didn't seem like enough. But I realized, I sat back and said to myself, am I really trying to grind or am I trying to thrive? My last video was around my birthday, actually. For those of you who don't know, I am a daughter of the Capricorn sun. And my birthday is January 17th. I published my last video on January 16th. And that weekend was the time for me to start recording for my next video. Now, I knew what I wanted to talk about. I knew what I wanted to say and do. But I had to realize I'm here home. I got my partner on the couch. I'm surrounded by love. This is a time and space for me to really just absorb that and be with that and own that. And all I can think about is making sure I had time to edit and film. And I stopped and I said to myself, yo, this is grind culture. Again, I'm not trying to rise and grind. I'm trying to rise and thrive. So I just sank into the idea that, you know what? This video can wait. And wait, it did. I hadn't posted again until the end of the spring semester. And not only for graduate school, but also for work. Because as you remember, I was on a sabbatical, so I was easing back into working residencies at different schools online, taking classes online. And so my free time looked a lot differently, and I let that be. On top of that, a really big change for me was transitioning out of individual therapy. And I had been with my therapist for over 3 years at that point, and she was studying clinical psychology in a PhD program, and it was time for her to move on to her internship. And so it felt like we had both graduated. I knew that I had taken in all of the lessons that I needed to learn, and I was ready for the next step to see if I can engage these on my own until I could find the next therapist to partner with. And that transition became hard. 6 weeks after, I started realizing I was dealing with random stressors and feeling overwhelmed by them. And I stopped one day and said, you know what? When was the last time I was in therapy? And then I realized, nah, yo, I need to get another therapist. I need to make sure that I'm continuing to reflect on what's troubling me and how I'm gonna cope and really just push through that in healthy ways. So I started consulting with various therapists, and we're gonna talk about the kind of questions you wanna ask a therapist before you go ahead and commit to their services. But one therapist that I met with, also a clinical psychologist, while I was doing an intake assessment, I realized that I had all of these feelings coming up for me, not only emotionally, but somatically, in my body, remembering some of the memories that she was bringing up in her questions. And I couldn't understand the response that I was having. And she said to me, you know what? And this was a day or so after thinking about how I was going to pay for them services. Because let me tell you, I wasn't going to be able to pay for them services. And she actually invited me to be a part of her Women of Color trauma group. Y'all, when I tell you, that was about a blessing because I needed the services. I still do. But also realizing that a lot of the challenges and difficulties and problems that have manifested throughout my life aren't just that, but they're traumas that I need to overcome. That was a realization for me. I'm like, wow, I thought this was a normal experience. Like, people aren't just troubled out in these streets. This is trauma. You know what I mean? But so many of us deal with trauma. But it's nice to be able to be in this group therapy where I do have clinical treatment that's different from the support you get in support groups. But also, I started to go to the National Alliance for Mental Illnesses, NAMI's Black Minds Matter support group more often as well. Having that additional support on top of group therapy has really helped. Then I found out that my graduate school offers a Black Mental Health Matters support sessions. And I started going to that, the summer sessions. And I was so thankful because while this may seem like a lot to the standard individual, when you have support for every area of your life, like in school, in work, in your personal life, you really do thrive. These services weren't services that I knew about before, even when I sought them out. So to have all of that, to be a part of all of these teams made up for what I've lost in individual therapy. I feel fully supported with this entire mental health team. I'm gonna quote Prentice Hemphill here. They are a somatics teacher, facilitator, writer, and the founder of the Embodiment Institute. They're also a community organizer and a therapist as well. And one thing they said, actually, let me go ahead and quote it verbatim. Give me a second, let me look at my notes. The reason why some things feel too big to be felt alone is that they are. A lot of our distress is bigger than one body or one generation. We need the alchemy of witness, ceremony, and our ancestors to feel. Let's just sit with that for a moment because that is real church right there. That's a whole sermon. I actually got the opportunity to collaborate with other Black artists who are focused on mental health, and together we created this artist collective. 2021 has been a year of communal healing and the very act of community care. So we shared several resources for the community, specifically in our last video, Thriving Through Trauma for Mental Wellness. And you can go back and check our first live where we talked about getting real about bipolar. So check out those videos after this. You know what though? One of the major factors of me unplugging, right? Like just plugging out for a little while and taking a pause, was that I changed my religion. Seriously, I went back to God in me. And Bishop Trisha Hersey of the Nat Ministry, she also is out here preaching whole sermons on a daily. So if you haven't, check her out. I talked about her in my past video. What are you doing? Watch. Be a whole witness. I'm really right now all about living a simple life, inviting ease and welcoming rest, whether or not I'm posting YouTube videos on a regular. As you know, if you've been following me for a while, the last year and a half, 2 years now, I've been doing some thorough deep cleaning in my apartment that pretty much just ran itself to ruins. All right, I did it. And so I've been cleaning and washing and mopping and sweeping and throwing away and shredding and vacuuming and everything, right? And it's been that deep cleaning for me that's also allowed me to deep clean my mind and get real clear about how I'm feeling, get clarity on the thoughts of my creativity and what I want to manifest into this world and what I want to offer to my community. With a clean space, you just wake up feeling more confident, right? Like, I'm gonna go to the gym this morning. Even if you don't get there, you just, every morning you get up and you just like, I'm gonna make breakfast. I'm gonna cook a whole 3-course meal. No, I'm not ordering out. I'm gonna enjoy my kitchen, right? I'm gonna enjoy this couch, right? I'm gonna enjoy these books. You just really start to own yourself again. And I haven't had that in a long, long time. I literally was just coming home, sleeping, maybe grabbing something to eat, and then going to work. Whether it was 1 job, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, then going to school, whether it was 1 class, 2 class, 3 classes, and coming home. And in between that, I was going to museums and galleries and artist talks and panel discussions, just busy like a bee, right? And I enjoyed that life. However, in this stillness that the pandemic pushed us all into, I realized that there's more and less is more. I'm not gonna lie though, every few days I get nervous and I think about like, what more can I be doing, right? Like, yes, resting is doing, but like, I'm not being productive, or am I just being idle, right? And so I'm constantly nervous about backsliding into grind culture. But you know what? The culture is shifting. Look at all the celebrities who are now creating initiatives around mental health, like Charlemagne the God and his mental health alliance, or even Taraji Henson. She's got this new show with Facebook Live called Peace of Mind. And those are two big names in the Black community. Things are moving in a new direction, and I'm carving out my pathway in all of this. We see Black athletes like Naomi Osaka, Sha'carri Richardson, Simone Biles, and so many more that are just like, nah. Just like Rosa Parks, nah. This ain't it. My mental health is more important. Look at me getting chills. My mental health is more important. Y'all not gonna run me ragged. I am not your mule. I am not your mammy. I am not a commodity, right? I am not a machine. I'm a whole human being. I didn't mean to rhyme, but we wasn't that cute. If you really want to hear more in-depth conversation though about these Black women athletes and their mental health, I definitely recommend you check out The Grapevine. They recently posted a video and they speak specifically about these 3 key actors who are impacting change. So check that out. I think that they, being such major influencers in the world, it's not just in the Black community, have allowed us all to accept that we too can take a mental health day or just a moment by ourselves, even if that looks like scheduling that moment, scheduling in 30-minute naps, or like me, 2-hour naps, making sure you go into bed at a decent time so you can wake up early enough to do what you need to do, you know, whether that's read a book or cook breakfast or brunch or whatever feels good to the spirit, make a cup of tea or coffee, go for a walk, anything, silently. So yeah, culturally, our relationship to ourselves is changing. And so I've really been thinking about my relationship to myself and my relationship with others. In the words of the motivational speaker, Rob Hill, you know who I'm talking about, right? Rob Hill, he be all over social media. He said, the next stage of my growth removes all lukewarm love. And that's for myself and for others and with others. You know, though, it's this constant conflict of interest that I keep bumping heads with, that whole friction about getting up, getting out, going and do everything that's possible to fill up my calendar and feel like a properly functioning adult. And I realized, mostly through therapy, that this overtly ambitious nature of mine is in part due to the fact that I feel like I've veered off my course. The last 16 years of living with bipolar has shape-shifted all that I knew to be true about my educational journey or my career path. It's been a beautiful thing, but along the way I realized I've been playing catch up, like the tortoise and the hare, trying to go fast, but the question is, do I go far? I've had to learn to slow down. In fact, I even purchased a tortoise, which again is a reminder of, what is it, Aesop's fables? The fable, the tortoise and the hare, because I am both. I will speed through something and get it done, but then sometimes I just have to learn to take my precious ass time and get to that finish line, because those who go fast aren't always those who go far. Those who go far are those who go together. Life is unpredictable and things will get messy. A lot of times I feel buried under all of the overwhelm, and then you realize really and truly you've been planted. So yes, stillness, rest, restoration. It gives time for mindfulness, silent meditation, and quiet growth. And my sabbatical has officially ended. It has been a year, and so I am doubling up on my graduate classes, and I just accepted a new role in one of the organizations that I work with. Things are gonna get really busy for me again. I refuse to have too much on my plate, but just enough to keep me dedicatedly involved in all the things that I love the most dearly. So what I'm saying is, go ahead and click on that notifications bell so you can stay abreast of all of the new content that I'll be creating in the coming year, including these live discussions with the artist collective I mentioned earlier, Black, Bipolar, and Badass. You can even check out our playlist here. You know what I think of? I remember when I was living in Barbados, and I would go driving as a moving meditation sometimes, just listening to the road, like quiet hum, and playing Erykah Badu in my car, other neo-soul hits at the time. And I would just be like, why am I going so fast? And India Arie would play in my ear. Slow down, baby, you're going too fast. You're about to wreck your future, running from your past. You better slow down, baby. Listen, I said I was spoken word artist, not a singer. Don't come at me. Even walking through town, I was just like zooming in and out of everybody and like elbow traffic and just going nowhere fast. And I had to stop and realize, why am I still rushing? It's not rush hour. It's not New York City. It's not Times Square. I'ma be alright. Slow down. And I think that was the first time I welcomed ease into my life. And that's been a mantra for me. I recently came across another quotable, and this one was by Doko, D-O-K-O. Just slow down. Slow down your speech. Slow down your breathing. Slow down your walking. Slow down your eating. And let this slower, steadier pace perfume your mind. Just slow down. And slowing down, I am. So till next time, family. Peace, peace.